Hi, this is Mohit Darsh, and thank you for joining me in this presentation. Today, I will be talking about two rather interesting agile methodologies called Crystal Framework and Lean Software Development, or LSD. The Agile Manifesto has been the cornerstone of modern software engineering and management for quite some time, all starting out as a ski trip to relax, eat, and try to find some common ground. The group of 17 independent thinkers, software developers, the Agile Alliance is what they ended up naming themselves, emerged with the Agile Software Development Manifesto, which would rid themselves of the arcane policies, which, on a bureaucratic level, would usually mean pushing process for process sake. Through the following methodologies, they were trying to do their best for the customer. In recent practices, using agile development, extreme programming, Scrum in management, and Kanban, they have become much popular. But there are a couple more that also have their benefits if incorporated properly. They are the Crystal Agile Framework and Lean Software Development. Alistair Cockburn, credited as one of the original popularizers of Agile, developed the Crystal method for IBM in 1991. His focus was not on developing specific step by step development strategies that would work across the board for teams involved in any project, but instead to develop guidelines for team collaboration and communication. The traits of the Crystal method were therefore tailored around the team itself. They were human powered, meaning the project should be flexible and tailored to the needs and preferred work modalities of people involved. Adaptive, meaning the approach uses no fixed tools but can be altered to meet the team's specific needs. And ultra light, meaning the methodology does not require much documentation or reporting. Now let's talk about the advantages of the Crystal framework. Since this approach gives importance to the traits and preferences of a team, the team is free to work in a way that they deem most effective and efficient. This also encourages direct team communication, complete transparency, and total accountability. The team also responds positively to changing requirements due to its adaptive nature. Since the Crystal method revolved around total team collaboration and no specific strategy or guidelines to proceed in a structured way, can you think of some disadvantages of this team centric methodology? So pause and think, what could be the downsides of a methodology that revolves around the team itself rather than a development strategy? Teamwork always trumps individual effort. However, this team centric approach also has its flaws. Planning things out in advance can help compartmentalize projects while adequately defining its scope. However, the lack of predefined plans can therefore lead to scope creep. Furthermore, a lack of documentation can lead to confusion when other teams may have to be involved or included in the project. So, folks, that was it for the Crystal framework. Let's see what LSD, and I mean lean software development and not the hallucinogen. So, let's see what LSD has in for us. Alright, lean software development, or LSD, is an agile framework which has an interesting origin. As any other individual in the software industry, what would your guess be as to who or what inspired this framework? Was it a scholar or an independent researcher? Or was it a dedicated software team? If you were to pick either of them, you were wrong. It was inspired from the manufacturing industry, which originated the lean development process as a way to optimize production and assembly lines to minimize waste and maximize customer value. In fact, it was originally called the Toyota production system because automaker Toyota invented this approach in the middle of the 20th century as a way to streamline its production of cars and eliminate wasted time and resources. Now let's talk about LSD and how it came to be. Mary Poppendieck, an IT manager at a large videotape plant, authored Lean Software Development after she found herself in a precarious economic situation due to her competitors. This had gotten her to consider adopting the just in time approach used by their competitor. Armed with a poorly translated copy of the book written by a Toyota manager, Mary got down to work. As a result, almost immediately upon making the changes, the plant went from producing 60% of the planned weekly pack out to producing 95% of it. Inspired by the manufacturing industry, LSD focuses on optimizing development time and resources, eliminating waste and delivering only what the product needs. It also embodies the idea that you should trust your workers are making their best effort. After talking about LSD, I don't know about you, but I sort of had a deja vu, like I had seen something similar before. So pause and think, do the practices of lean software development seem similar to another agile methodology? If so, which one was it? For this, if you thought Kanban, you were absolutely correct. Like Kanban, Lean also is similar in its efforts to reduce waste. In this instance, waste could be in the form of a wrong feature, multitasking or switching, creating something that would never be used, and so on. Lean, however, has certain prescriptions when it comes to engineering practices, like test driven development or TDD. TDD, interestingly, also pertains to Toyota's top the line philosophy of uprooting flaws early on. Something similar is also practiced in Lean, which allows it to be less prescriptive on delivery time boxes. This is unlike Kanban, as in LSD, the team is potentially ready to deploy at any given time. Now let's discuss the strengths of Lean software development. The streamlined approach of LSD allows more functionality to be delivered in a short amount of time. Elimination of unnecessary activity can, as a result, reduce costs drastically. This approach also empowers the development team in the decision making process, thus boosting the morale of the team altogether. Now, just like other approaches, LSD also has its own weaknesses. Increased dependency on the team makes this approach less scalable as compared to other frameworks. And strong documentation is a crucial part of lean software development, which may seem as undesirable to many people. Many software organizations have found the LSD methodology to be an excellent approach to software development because of its streamlining of the process and forcing the team to ruthlessly cut away any activity that doesn't directly affect the final product. Lean can be an excellent approach due to its streamlined process and its ability to cut unimpactful functionalities, but it needs an outstanding and trustworthy development team, finding which can be a challenge in itself. The Crystal method is among the more flexible agile frameworks because it is designed around a project's people and is not dependent on any single set of processes or tools. In that sense, it can be a viable methodology for organizations that want to empower their teams to work however they deem most effective. Crystal emphasizes direct team collaboration and de emphasizes the importance of documentation and reporting, thus, reducing visibility across the entire organization. That's it from me, folks. Thank you for joining me in this presentation of Lean Software Development and the Crystal Framework. And I hope all of you enjoyed this presentation. Have a nice day.